And here we are today in the Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea with Lizzie here. Now, they've got quite a good recycling rate, nearly 31%. Now, what do Kensington and Chelsea ask you to do with your waste?
They ask us to separate the food waste out and then recycle it as often as possible to not accumulate in these recycling bins.
Okay. So they take actually everything you possibly can be recycled?
Yes.
And you bring it down, and it's not a problem to bring it down here?
It is a problem because the bins are very difficult, the lids are heavy,
Right.
and it's difficult to lift them. And the little tops, which are easy to lift, once the bin's 3/4 full, you can't get most of the rubbish into the top.
And what happens then when it's full? You just dump it on the floor?
Well, there's more bins on
Oh,
the
I see.
estate.
Okay. I see. So it works well on your estate?
Yes,
Excellent. Okay, thank you. Lizzie.
Hi.
You've lived here for over 20 years in Kensington and Chelsea?
Nearly 40 years.
Amazing. And you're very, very active in environment. You're head of an Elders Voice charity?
Yes.
And I'm very impressed with what you do in your house, but tell me, what was the key? What happened all those years ago to make you click?
Nothing happened years ago. I lived for about 12 years in a big housing co-op where we knocked all the walls down between our little Victorian cottages and had a communal garden. And several people there were very interested in environmental issues, and so we started composting all our food waste and growing fruit and vegetables. One of my neighbours had his son's hair tested for lead, and we discovered that there was very high levels of lead up in North Kensington. And
That was how many years ago?
25, 30 years ago.
Imagine what it would be like now.
It's much better now because there's a lot less lead in petrol now than there used to be. So we were part of a campaign to reduce lead in petrol. Then I lived at Green and Peace Camp for a couple of years, so I was living on the ground, so I became very aware of the earth, who apparently is my mother. And then when I came back to London, I was living in Ladbroke Grove, the other side of this borough, in a big Victorian social housing flat. And I was fostering a little 2-year-old, and I had a baby. I was a member of the Women's Environmental Network. One day on the way to work I saw a big poster in Ladbroke Grove Station. I can't remember the exact words, but it was along the lines of do you care about the environment? Tick box, yes. Are you really interested in green issues? Tick box, yes. And then the last line was, are you incredibly lazy? Tick box, yes. And then the Royal Borough suggested that they would bring me round a green recycling box and a compost bin and would kindly sort my rubbish for me if I put it in the recycling box. I thought this was very funny, and it also made me think, and when I got to work I phoned for these compost and recycling boxes, and I've been doing it as a matter of course ever since. On this estate we've got two very useful ways of recycling. The local environmental team brought everybody in the whole borough an orange recycling bag with handy handle at the bottom so you can tip it into your bin, and they also take away any household. You ring up the council and they'll come away and take away anything like fridges and sofas and so on if you're throwing them away. And we have big communal recycling bins which are very, very well used. I would say everybody I know here recycles as a matter of course.
Excellent, excellent. Well, you've got excellent figures, Lizzie. You mix all your recycling, don't you? You don't have to sort it. And then your landfill was 5 kilo. Your landfill 2.5 kilo. So your recycling rate is 67%, which if you look at the rest of Kensington and Chelsea, sorry, Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea, they're around here about 30, you're sort of double. So that's
How's it worked out?
What, theirs?
Now, how do you work out mine's 67%?
Because of the proportion of recycling to landfill.
Oh, I see, okay.
No one's ever asked that before.
All right.
So Lizzie, thank you very much.
Okay.